With the launch of the official FPL game, it's time to build our first drafts. Have in mind that a lot of changes will occur during preseason, so stay tuned for my next videos where I change the draft, find better players, and integrate them in my team. But for now, I think those are the best starting players you can get in day one basically of the fantasy. As already mentioned, if you want to see my content for preseason, please subscribe to the channel. I will be putting out a lot of videos for you to consider for your game week 1. Give a comment down below if you find my drafts enjoyable and if you see that I have some flaws there that you showcase to me that I can improve. Give a like of the video, and now let's go to the first draft. As usual, we are starting in the goalkeepers department. I've selected a 4.5 keeper, being Pickford. Have in mind that most probably he won't be there, but he is the best 4.5 there is right now. Begovic, on the other hand, is for sure not staying, because he is only a placeholder for a 4.0. Maybe he will be staying, but we have to see. But for now, Pickford and Begovic, two pretty good goalkeepers. Overall, Begovic is the Everton's second goalkeeper, and if I keep that pair, it will be a very good pair in my opinion, because I won't be going for forwards from Everton. Maybe I want a defender, but for now 4.5 to Pickford, because the start of the season is not pretty rough for them. They have okayish fixtures, and for 4.5 you cannot ask for anything better. Begovic, if he joins Sheffield, maybe a starter, but for now he's a substitute keeper and he will be a 4.0. If someone emerges during preseason for a 4.0 price, I will select him, but for now, placeholder 4.0 keeper just to see the budget, and 4.5 keeper to start the game. As you can see, I've used all of my budget. So yeah, if I want to improve the goalkeeper's position, maybe to Ramsdale, I'll have to drop somewhere else someone. But we will see during preseason what will occur, what changes will happen in the teams, what changes of systems, because they will be testing out several things. But for now, 4.5 keeper Pickford and 4.0 deputy being Begovic for now. Going into defense, you can see that there is a big absence here. I don't own Trent for the start. He's 8.0 and I cannot fit the players that I want with his high price. Robertson for 6.5 will be a good option as well, but no budget for it as well. John Stones 5.5, pretty good defender. I want a Man City defender basically, because they have a pretty good opening fixture runs. 6 of their 6 game weeks fixtures are not against a very good regular top 4 contender. Only in game week 2 they face Newcastle, but yeah, I don't mind playing Stones against Newcastle. Maybe concede a goal, but you cannot get all the points from the start. I may change him to a different Manchester City defender. Maybe someone better will occur. I don't know, but yeah, John Stones for now is a pretty good option, pretty solid. And if he keeps his inverted midfielder role, he can join attacks, he can score from set pieces, he can take long shots, and he can score a lot points from that midfielder's position while being classified as a defender. He will be basically Lundstram but on steroids, because he is in Manchester City defense. So yeah, John Stones a pretty good opportunity, and with that low of a price, 5.5, it's a no-brainer to not go for him. Next up, a Chelsea defender spot. Here, Chilwell or Reece James. It's 50-50. For now, I got Chilwell, because he tends to score more goals. He is better in front of goal, and he provides assists as well as Reece James. The only issue here is that he may be rotatable, because Howe and Cucurella are still in the team, and they may fight for that position. We have to see what formation they're using, but regardless, I believe with Chelsea start of the season, apart from the game against Liverpool, I liked it very much, and having a Chelsea wing back or a attacking fullback will be very good. If there is a rotation and no rotation risk for James, I may go for James, because I don't want my players to be sitting on the bench, especially this high of a price. But 5.5, it's reserved for a Chelsea defender. Someone will say Luke Shaw is better for that price. You may be right, but I enjoy their attacking prospects more, and Luke Shaw maybe as a center back. Maybe if Maguire leaves, Mawase will be a left back. We have to see how it goes, but yeah, for now, Reece James is there. Next up is Stupinian. For me, this is the first nailed player in my team that is not going to change unless there is an injury. 5.0 it's a pretty low price for a Brighton attacking wingback, basically, because they're playing the same 3-2-5 and he's a left winger and he has so many opportunities. I didn't own him for a very long period of time last season and I regretted a lot. I believe that he would have been a very, very good player and, of course, develop a lot of points. Here I can opt for Zinchenko as well, the same thing as John Stones. He can play as a left back, then he plays as a midfielder, but we have to search now how they line up. I even consider Ramsdale. It's Ramsdale or Zinchenko because their price is good. But for 5.0, yeah, I cannot think you can go better than Estupiñán. Maybe Moreno from Aston Villa is another good option, but with the fixtures from the start, a Brighton defender for me is a must, and Estupiñán is the best choice there is because he can get defensive and attacking returns. Then is my first option on the bench is a 4.5 defender. It's not rotatable, it's just there to fill in the blanks if someone is injured, someone is suspended, or something happens and some of the players don't play and I don't want to waste any transfers. Botman is an out player. Here you can opt for Tarkovsky, Minks, Mitchell, Gay, different type of defenders, even Henry from Brentford. But for me, 4.5 for a Champions League defensive starter is a very good price, and I cannot think you can go wrong with Botman. A very, very good defender. He will improve massively this season with the experience that he got last year, and for me, he is a must-own. Basically, if I don't see anyone threatening his place, 4.5 for such a defender, it's a very good option. And finally, Bell 4.0, nothing too spectacular there. He's a placeholder such as Begovic. Basically, I want a playing player there, but he will be my last substitution. Maybe second to last, we have to see. But yeah, for me, he's not going to touch grass for a long period of time. So basically, I need a 4.0 playing defender. That's the conditions there. And I believe this is a very strong defense. If I want to go to Trent, I have to sell someone from there and someone from midfielder / striker, but I don't want to start with Trent just because he's too good of an option and you can always go down. Yeah, you can, but you have a lot of money not spent if you go down from him. So yeah, let's start a game without Trent, but he will appear in several drafts for sure because he's such a good player, and if he is playing in a midfielder position in preseason, I may even be persuaded to put him in my Gameweek 1 draft and drop someone else. Next up, we are going to talk about the midfielders, and here there is a big guy. It's Salah. I cannot see myself going without Salah. I know there is a movement going on that you can only play with Haaland, but I like Salah. Salah starts the season always well. He's in a good team. After the change of formation, he got his form back. He will be rested. He will need to develop if he wants to move Liverpool back into title contention, basically. And for a 12.5, I have to make a sacrifice. So it's basically Trent or Salah. And I find Salah better because, hear me out, Trent in defense, maybe playing as a midfielder and having more opportunities, but let's say they don't keep a lot of clean sheets because they will have a brand new midfield. And you know, the midfielders is the most important place where the clean sheets are made because they press highly, they attack highly, they will have to develop Gakpo, to replace Firmino to press from up front, and some shenanigans will be happening until they learn the formation. Maybe they don't even start and they start with Fabinho and Thiago for the start of the season. We have to see, but Salah is a must because in every team, in every scenario, he's scoring goals, and you want goals from your midfielders. And in my opinion, going without Salah is as risky as going without Haaland. So be prepared to lose a lot of points if you don't own him. But basically, if I want Salah, I will drop John Stones and Salah and get, let's say, Bruno Fernandes and / Rashford for Trent. And yeah, this will be the team. But Salah, for me, it's a starter. Salah plus Stones, I see more points than Trent plus Rashford, let's say. So yeah, a very good price to begin with. He has a price drop down and he is good to consider. KDB is 10.5, so he is only participating against Kane for that price. and you cannot go wrong with Salah. In game week 2, while City have a Newcastle game, they have Bournemouth, and even though Salah is not scoring in game week 2, I think he can break that curse, and he should score a lot of goals against Bournemouth, and a 12.5 price for a captain is a very good price. Next up is the most nailed player in my team, basically. If he's injury free, Saka, 8.5. I believe that he was going to be 9.5 even, or let's say 9, but 9.5 was my initial prediction, but he's 8.5. So yeah, he's nailed, because 8.5 for a Arsenal best player. Let's say it's a no-brainer. He's a penalty taker. He tends to score a lot of goals. He's getting assists. With the next player, that's Havertz, being in the team that can hold the ball and just provide it to Saka, he will score even more goals. Odegaard will provide the ball. Rice will have good opportunities to pass the ball. Yeah, I believe Saka will have a very, very good season, and he will be in contention of player of the season basically. So 8.5, it's a no-brainer of a price. Then it's Havertz, 7.5. He's in a very good price point that I can afford for my team. He's a very droppable player. Don't be ridiculed by the place in his team. He can go down, and I will include Zinchenko / Ramsdale, and I'll just put another midfielder there, maybe Bruno Guimaraes, and I'll have more money to improve somewhere else. But yeah, Havertz for now fits the price range perfectly, 7.5. A shadow striker, basically. He will provide assists, he will score goals, he will get a lot of opportunities. He is bought to play, basically. He will not be benched, in my opinion. We'll have to see during preseason, basically, but yeah, I believe he will be playing. And for a 7.5 player, he is a very, very solid player and a very underrated player, in my opinion, because in a Chelsea team, he didn't participated, play well when he was the sole striker, but when he has Jesus next to him and good wingers on both sides, I believe he can wreak havoc, and having Havertz will be a very differential pick, and that's basically my differential pick. All of the guys up until now, and except Bale, are pretty solid players that have already played in their team, so I have a basic foundation, so risking it for Havertz, it's okay. Mitoma 6.5, it's Mitoma, March or Gross, one of the three. For me, Mitoma is the best one. He gets in the most attacking chances. He is not good finishing wise, but if he has a purple patch of finishes, he'll just take up the Prem by storm. Here you can opt for Mbuemo, but I have another player from Brentford in my team up front, so stay tuned to see that. But yeah, basically Mitoma 6.5, he's fighting against some players, but for me he is the best one there is. Downs 4.5, he's just a placeholder. I believe that after Rice leaves, he can get an opportunity to play, because he's a good player and he will be basically the next Rice. So I will not be picking any other West Ham player. So yeah, he may even stay for the rest of the preseason if he is starting to play, unless Rice replacement comes from another team. Downs may be a pretty nailed player. Here the most obvious things that I'm missing are Maddison and Manchester United players. I'm missing Manchester United player as a whole, but I cannot seem to have a placement for them. They're in such awkward price, especially Rashford 9.0. I don't see him doing as good as Fernandes and then Saka for that high of a price. And for that price, I prefer Saka over Fernandes. And I want Son maybe to go there. I'll have to see, but yeah, for now, no Manchester United boys. We have to see what transfers they make, because if they don't sign a striker, Rashford is an out of position because Weghorst is gone and only Martial is there, and Martial is not a very reliable player. But yeah, for now, Salah, Saka, Havertz and Mitoma will be starting. I will be playing in a 3-4-3 or a 4-4-2 basically, but most probably 3-4-3 of the game weeks. And I've set up a pretty strong midfield. I already have 2 penalty takers and Mitoma, maybe even a penalty taker after McAllister left. I have several set piece takers being Chilwell and set piece threats as Stones. I have a good goalkeeper, and now it's left to see what strikers I have basically. So stay tuned up until the end to strikers. We will discuss what I'm missing and what can be done with around the team, and who is nailed and who is going to be sacrificed. In the forward line, I cannot surprise anyone by saying that Haaland was the first player that I put in my draft. 14 million, what can you do? But with such strong start of the season fixture-wise, and with such a good form from last season, I don't see dropping out Haaland. Kane is missing, but hear me out. Haaland 14 million. Yeah, he is 1.5 more expensive than Kane, but Kane is not sure to be staying, not in which team he is staying. So yeah, Haaland for now, a very solid option for me in my forward line. 14 million, yes, but a captain in game weeks from 1 to 6 apart from game week 2. Next up is Nkunku. Nkunku is the new shadow striker for Chelsea, and if he is nailed in pre-season, I will start with him because he is a very explosive player. He can take such good set pieces, he has a long shot, he has awareness in the box, he is everything you look in the striker apart from playing with his head because he is not very tall. But overall, I enjoy Nkunku's price, 7.5. He's a good price. I can replace him with Mitrovic, with Isaac, with a lot of players if he is not up to par. So I have players there that can go. So this price range is pretty important in my team. And I want a little bit of excitement with Havertz and Nkunku being both 7.5 and new faces in pretty good teams. I will be expecting a lot. I don't want to go for a lot of players that are new to the teams because they're not settled. They may have time to adapt or to just to adapt. But Nkunku and Havertz, 2 players from my starting 11, it's a pretty okay number. It's good for you, basically. And the last guy here is Wissa. He's my Brentford player. It's 6.0. I enjoy his price a lot. He's a very good striker. He didn't have a lot of time to shine because Tony was playing better than him. But basically, Wissa will be starting with Mbuemo if no one else comes into the Brentford side. And for a half a season, you can get a very, very solid player. If he is not up to par and he is not playing very well, you can immediately drop him for a 5.5 striker. And I have the ideal replacement for that. It's Morris from Luton. It will be another player that is not nailed in the side. It's new to the system, not new to the system, but new to the Prem. So it will be considered a risk. And then I will be maybe persuaded to drop Havertz for someone else because I don't want to take more than 2 risk fixture-wise. Not fixture-wise, players-wise, sorry. But yeah, 3 strikers, Haaland, Nkunku, and Wissa. Basically, the team that is going to be deployed is Pickford, Stones, Chilwell, Stupian. A pretty solid defensive line, a little bit more expensive than my liking, but a lot of players are having good fixtures from the start and they're good attacking-wise. Midfielder of Salah, Saka, Havertz, and Mitoma. And attacking force of Haaland, Nkunku, and Wissa. I have several differentials here. Wissa, Havertz will be differential, and if someone is going for it, James Chilwell, in my opinion, will be differential. A lot of players will drop in the team Trent and Shaw, so they won't own at least 2 of my defenders, which will be ideal. Salah will be a semi-differential because most of the players will be going with 1 premium, but I will have some highly owned players not owned, such as Trent, Shaw, Rashford, Swash, Fernandes, maybe Mbuemo, maybe March, maybe Gross. So we will have some highly owned players and some differentials. Downs, Bell, and Begovic are up to change for sure. For the most nailed attacking wise player that are playing and the most nailed goalkeeper to be starting for 4.0. But for now, this teams looks pretty solid. If you enjoy it, leave down a comment section what are your thoughts about it. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new here because more FPL videos will come your way pretty soon. And I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.